Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to make a very traditional Oriya dish, and that's Budha Chakuli. It's a little sweet and a little salty uttapam, thick uttapam that we all love to eat. And today's video, this Budha Chakuli is a little different from the traditional chakuli because it's fermented. Growing up, I never had Budha Chakuli a lot of times because my mother was not quite keen on serving us anything that's fermented. And since this recipe has to be fermented, it was never part of our diet. But then when I grew up, I tasted it, I just absolutely loved this. And that's the reason I'm going to share it with you. And if you like the video, subscribe, like and share. So let's get started. To begin with, I have the ingredients. Again, the same ingredients as we need for normal chakuli. 2 parts of rice, 1 part of urad dal. So I have taken here half cup each of rice or white rice. You can take any white rice of your choice, and then half a cup of urad dal. That's it. I'm going to give all these ingredients a thorough wash, and then I'm going to soak it for at least 3 to 4 hours, then grind it to a fine paste, and that's it. Then we will proceed further and add all the rest of the ingredients and make the pitha. Now apart from these, I have few other ingredients that will go to the pitha. And then I have, this is about a little less than half a cup of jaggery. You can add as much or as little according to your choice. And then I have some coconut. This is some sliced coconut. I have taken both sliced coconut and grated coconut. So it will be roughly about 3 tablespoons of each of these 2 kinds of coconut. And I'll just show you these chunks of coconut. I have sliced it really thinly, but then again it's up to your choice. You can add thicker chunks of coconut, and you can add as much or as little as I told you, and same goes with all the ingredients. And then I have 1 teaspoon of salt and about 3 green cardamoms which I have crushed up a little. If you wish, you can add 1 black cardamom crushed up, and that also goes really well, but I have just added here green cardamoms. Then I have 1 teaspoon of fennel seed or saunf, or as we call it in Odia, panamaduri. This is an absolutely wonderful spice. It has that sweet aroma which goes really well in this pitha. And then I have 1 teaspoon of finely chopped ginger. You can add grated ginger or you can add crushed up ginger. It's again up to your choice. You can add much or less accordingly. And then the final ingredient is black pepper. This is crushed up black pepper. I have taken here 1 teaspoon. And apart from all these ingredients, I just missed out on one more ingredient, and that is half a teaspoon of baking powder that I will add to the batter, and that's going to make it nice and soft. And at this point, if you wish, you can add some cashews, some fried cashews to this ingredient list, but I'm not quite fond of cashews in my Budha Chakuli, so I have skipped it. But then again, it's up to your choice, and if you do not want to add jaggery, you can add sugar as well. So finally, I have the batter here. This batter is quite thick, though it's another form of chakuli, but unlike saru chakuli batter, this batter is quite thick. And I have already fermented it for 6 hours, but my house was not hot enough, so after fermenting it for 6 hours, still it's not quite done, and that's the reason I have added about half a teaspoon of baking powder to this batter, just to make it nice and fluffy. But if you stay in a hot place, 6 hours is good enough for the batter to ferment. Or else, if you want to do the traditional way, you can just leave it overnight, and the next day the bacteria would do their work, and your batter would be nice and fluffy, and it will be a little tart. Since it's over fermented, it's going to be a little tart, a little sour, but absolutely the batter is going to be very good. But if you do not have time, or as you live in a colder place like me, in that case, just go the easiest way, add the baking powder, and you are good to go. And some people even add some mashed up banana to this batter just to make it soft. Then you have these 3 options, so whichever option is good for you, just do that. And now to this batter, I have added all the ingredients, and I'm going to mix everything really well. The jaggery will take a little while to mix in with the batter because they are in bigger lumps. So make sure it's well mixed, everything is well mixed, and if you wish to add nuts, you can add nuts at this point, and you'll have small chunks of cashews also. So this batter is well mixed. The next thing is to start making the pitha, and some even add some stuffing to this pitha. They add the first layer of the batter, then they do the stuffing, put the stuffing which is normally made of paneer or coconut, and then they add another ladle full of batter, and that's it. The pitha would be done that way. But anyhow, that's a lengthy process. I wanted to make everything very simple, so I have added all the ingredients to this batter. If you wish, you can add some grated paneer as well to this batter. So this is well mixed. I have already heated a pan. I'm going to make the pitha now. So my pan is hot, and I have already added here about 2 tablespoons of ghee. Ghee is melted. Now to this I'm adding the batter, and it's up to you if you want to make thinner pithas or thicker pithas. It's almost like pancakes. So if you want thinner pancakes, you can make it thin. I love nice and thick, so I'm going to add almost like 3 ladles full of the batter and make it nice and thick. And this much of batter would make around 3 thick pithas. So add the batter. After adding the batter, I'm going to even out a little because the center is still a little thick, and then I'm going to cover the lid and cook it on medium to low heat for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'll just open the lid and flip it. That's it. So the ghee, you can see lots of ghee all around the pitha, but by the time it's half done, it's going to soak up all the so you need to even add more ghee because this pitha soaks up a lot of ghee. So you can see here the ghee has started bubbling. That means it's quite hot now. So I have reduced the heat to medium to low, and I'm going to cover the lid and let it cook for about 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, open the lid. This pitha looks absolutely great. It's nice and fluffy. Yes, it's quite plumped up, and the edges are a little golden. You can't see in this video, but they have got a little golden, and that's the reason I'm going to flip it. And this pitha is absolutely very soft, so be very gentle. Look at this. It's so soft it started breaking, so I'm going to use 2 spatulas just to flip it because this pitha is very soft. And I have also added a tiny bit of ghee on top, and I'll use 2 spatulas to flip it. The reason why I'm not able to flip it is that the bottom is not very crusty yet. It's a little golden, and that's the reason I can't flip it. Traditionally what they do, they make the bottom crust very crusty, and that's the reason it's so thick. You can hold it nicely in your spoon or spatula and then flip it. But this one that I'm making is light golden. That's the reason it's quite soft still, and you need to be extra careful. Once the other side also gets a little golden, I'm going to take it out, but I have to be very gentle while taking it out. So I'll show you how to slide into your plate so that it doesn't break. And the next one I'll show you the traditional way, which is my favorite. So this one is done. I'm going to slide it. Hold the plate and very gently just slide it in. That's it. Now time for the next one. Now for the next pitha, I have heated the ghee, added the batter, and I'm going to cook it on low heat this time for about 6 minutes. After 6 minutes, the bottom layer would be nice and hard. It will have a hard dark crust. So after 6 minutes, you can see here the rim has got the color, and I'll just show you how crusty it is. Yes, it looks quite dark, but it's not burnt at all. And this time you do not need 2 spatulas to flip it since the bottom is quite crusty. I can flip it very easily. So there you go. And I'm just waiting for the other side to get a little golden, and then I'm going to serve it. So this pitha is ready, and this pitha is my absolute favorite because because of the crust. So finally, to serve, I have the pitha here, and I'm going to just dust a little powdered sugar on top. This is optional. If you do not want it, you can always skip it, but it looks a little fancy, so I'm just dusting a little bit of sugar. on top, and then I'm going to cut it into triangular pieces like a cake, and I'll show you how fluffy this pitha is. This pitha is so fluffy, it's almost like a sponge, like a normal pancake texture. It's just have a pancake texture. Look at this. The thickness is just like a pancake. This is the Indian Oriya pancake, I call it, and it's so fluffy, so spongy. So this pitha is ready. I'm going to serve it now. I'll just cut all the entire pitha and serve. So the pitha is finally ready. I have uploaded quite a few chakuli recipes, be it the sweeter version or the savory topping version. This one is a little different from that, and if you haven't seen those videos, I'm going to share the link in the description box. Do try this very delicious dish and share your comments and your suggestions. And if you like this video, you know what to do. You need to hit like, subscribe and share. We will meet next time. Till then, bye bye.